How's it going, everybody? Sorry that yesterday video wasn't uploaded. Unfortunately, it looks like YouTube didn't take it. Just an error, I'm sure. Anyway, uh, today supposed to be Destination Tuesday, and I'll go a little bit of Memory Monday as well. But so Destination Tuesday today, we're actually talking about Greece. Um, I know I've talked about it a lot before, just in little bits here and there, but I just want to say that Greece is probably, sorry, so shaky right now. Uh, there's brick paved streets in the town I live in until you get to a certain part, which is right here, and then it just starts to get a lot better. But anyway, sorry about that. Uh, so Greece is probably one of my favorite places to ever visit when I was a kid. And the food, the culture, the people, there was so much to like about it. Now, one thing I will say about Athens, especially, is that if you're prone to have issues with cigarette smoke, I would stay away from Athens. It's like everybody smokes there. I'm sure it's cleaned up a little bit over the years, but I just remember there was just a dense fog, or whatever you want to call it, just pollution that was over that town. But anyway, so the other things that I like about Greece, um, I've been to Athens, Corinth, never went to Crete, but went to Santorini too. And my favorite part of Athens was probably the Acropolis and also Sunion, which is the Temple of Poseidon, because it just looks out over the sea. It's like it's a really pretty temple. But they don't let you inside the temple anymore because I guess that a long time ago there was a prince. I think it was a prince of France actually. Uh, Went in there and defiled the place, and they won't let tourists into it. And I never got it. That was like way long ago. We're talking like hundreds of years, maybe thousands. I don't know. But that place was really cool. And with Athens too, there's so much to do. If you know if you like to explore culture, I mean, I would definitely suggest it. And the people there, for the most part, were actually really cool. Um, there was a place in, I can't remember if it was Corinth or Mykonos, that we went to a butterfly pavilion, and there is a sign there, and obviously I don't speak Greek. I speak a very minuscule amount of it, yeah, but I can't read it or anything. And I guess the sign said, "Don't touch the butterflies in the pavilion." And I reached for one of them, and a guy smacked me in the back of the head. And my dad was not having that, so he chased the guy down. And I don't think he ever caught him, but so the only reason I bring that up is that that place was actually pretty. It was a pretty place. So, and then the other things I would say about travel tip wise is if you get a chance, go on the ferry from Athens to any of the islands. It's a really cool experience, especially like I remember every single time we were on the ferry, there'd be dolphins that were actually right next to us, just jumping up and down. And they were wanting food from the people, so if you feed them, they just loved it. It was a really cool sight to see that. And there's also, I think we were actually in Corinth for this one. We went on a wine tasting tour, and yes, I was a kid, and yes, they gave me some wine, and my mom was furious, and my dad was just laughing. But I tell you what, the pistachios and the wine there, oh, those were so good, so good. Uh, I haven't had a pistachio like that. They weren't like cooked or anything. It was just a straight out pistachio, like from the tree, and like a huge difference from the pistachios that you buy from the store and all. Um, and let's see, in Santorini, there's a little volcano resort that we stayed at. That's actually a hotel that it was built into the volcano, and like they had a table made out of stone and all. But what was cool about that place is the limestone walls and all. You could literally walk up to a wall, pull a piece off, and it was like just soft limestone. And somewhere, I think my dad still has a limestone piece that we took. And I remember us going up this mountain path next to the volcano, like on next to the actual mouth of the volcano. It's a dormant volcano too, but we were going up this path, and there was this donkey and these two guys, and there wasn't enough room to get around or anything, but that donkey took up the whole thing, and somehow that they were able to get it around us. But that was a pretty scary little thing. It was like one teeny tiny little trail going around the mountain, no guardrails, no nothing. It was just like you drop pretty scary stuff. But yeah. And the other thing I remember too is going to our landlord in Athens, his farm out in the country. He had an octopus farm, and I remember seeing him beating the octopus that we were going to have for dinner and all. And that's probably the best octopus soup I've ever had. Actually, any octopus I've ever had. Because I've had like octopus sushi and all that. I don't like it. But that was the only time I actually thought octopus was really good. And let's see, like all these memories are flooding back to me. Like in Athens, there was a restaurant called the Red Mushroom, and it literally looked like a red mushroom. And really good pizza there, but also there was they had calamari there, and this is the only place I've ever seen calamari prepared like this. So it was little teeny tiny fried ones, but they weren't fried very much. They were mostly just the squid itself and just very lightly breaded. But they put the beaks back in them after they cooked them. And I remember crunching into one and almost breaking my teeth on one of the beaks. But the point is, though, is that was the best calamari I've ever had, and I've had lots of calamari. I've had it in Italy. Like, calamari is one of my favorite dishes, fried calamari. I've had it in Italy, America, like everywhere else that I've been in the world. Nothing will ever beat the one place in Greece. So, enough about food. It's starting to make me hungry, and I'm just on my way to work. I'm just trying to think of any other travel tips for that. Oh, yes. Okay. Really big one. If you're invited to go visit, like say you're in Greece and somebody invites you to their home, you better go there on an empty stomach, because they're very generous people, and they will feed you big time. So just be ready. And the Mediterranean diets that they talk about, I'm sure you've heard of the Mediterranean diet, and it's true. It's mostly meat, and there's some like fruits and vegetables like cucumbers and olives and onions, and I know they have moussaka, which is an eggplant lasagna pretty much, and it's pretty good stuff actually. But all I gotta say is, you go to Greece, you try out the food, just be prepared. It's very meaty, and that was pretty much it that I can think of for travel tips there. I mean, it's a pretty safe place to go. And now, when you leave the ship or your plane or whatever, you might be greeted by a lot of people that want to sell you some trinkets and stuff like that. They're just people trying to feed their families and all. They're not trying to rob you or anything. So, anyway, that's all I got to say about that today. So, that's my destination for today is Greece. And all I got to say is if you want to check it out and know a little bit more about it, definitely do some research, but also, hit us up at dazzleflyjourneys.com because we can go over trips with you, like what to do there and, place to go, people to see, food to eat. I could definitely go over that. And just to experience it overall in general. So, hope you guys had a great time listening to this video. I know I was a little bit spacey on some of it, but hey, getting better than that. Plus, I'm driving at the same time. So, anyway, hope you are doing well. I'll see you on the next one.